If you happen to walk into your kitchen one day and you see a raccoon stealing your apple pie, how will you react? I know it sounds kind of funny and scary at the same time, but people experience animal house intrusions every day in different parts of the world. Can you imagine a huge python trying to break into your house? What about a famished leopard? If you're into scary stuff, then stick around as we count down 10 craziest animal invasions caught on camera. Pythons are huge constrictors able to eat large prey by swallowing them whole. Well, in our first clip, this python thinks it has a dinner date with the person living inside this house and has arrived at the door. What does one do when a huge snake like this is interested in entering your house? Well, you do what this person does. You give the snake a little lunch so it does not need to go see what can eat inside. You can see this person showing the snake a rabbit, and the snake immediately jumps the rabbit and begins the eating process. Looks like a yummy lunch, but I think I'll pass. It isn't every day a deer crashes through your kitchen door. Watch this couple panic when this deer flies into the house, scaring the living daylights out of the pet dog and causing the woman to scream like the devil just entered the house wearing a pair of Prada shoes. For some reason, the deer is having a difficult time getting up. Maybe the floor is too slippery. Instead of helping the deer, the woman films it so she can post it on Instagram. The deer tries to walk out, but is having a lot of trouble doing so. And do not ask me why these people are not even trying to help it out. This clip shows a deer already inside a house and it seems to have damaged a few things. The owner comes running in and sees the deer, so the deer decides it is time to go for a swim in the family swimming pool. I wonder how it's going to get out of that one. Our next sequence is kind of funny. Police officers stormed into a Texas home, guns drawn, in response to a burglary call, but the perpetrator was unable to put its hands up. As the officers attempted to get the terrified deer out of the building, chaos ensued. What a funny situation when you think about it. Before we go on, like this video, pop the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell right now, or the ghost in your closet will manifest itself tonight. Seagulls are not shy, and they will go anywhere there is food and not ask permission. In this video, I don't know how the seagull got into this house, but it seems to want to get out and doesn't know how. It looks like it needs to calm down because if it doesn't, it could get hurt. Seagulls are just birds, but they are unpredictable, and this lady screams because she is afraid of what this gull will do next. Finally, in our last clip, Beaky the seagull lets himself into a house before exploring and devouring a portion of the cat biscuits. Last summer, the gull was a regular visitor of the house, and it had returned in recent weeks with more confidence than ever before. We have seen a large snake try to enter a house, but what will you do if a lion entered your house? Watch this lioness walk inside this house as if it were her own. Well, it is, because it seems to be the family pet, so no problem there. Yeah, right. Pet or not, I'm not having a lion walk into my house. You can see how playful the lion is though, and these people do not seem one bit afraid of it. Look at what happens when the lion wants to play with the guest of the family. In the next clip, you come home and open the door to a large room that leads into your backyard, and you see an entire pride of lions hanging out. Wow, what a sight. These people were checking out the property for relatives and came face to face with these lions. The property is located on a big game estate and lions roam free. I guess these people do not have too many barbecues in the backyard. When the world's most dangerous bird enters your living room, what do? You hide behind the dining room table for the rest of your life and take a few pictures in case anything unexpected happens. While a couple was still inside their beach home, a cassowary known as Peanut made its way into the building. They leave all the doors open while they're home because they think Peanut is curious, but they dashed out of the house and hid in the garage because Peanut is still a wild animal. If you're not acquainted with the huge flightless bird, you should be. They're the closest we'll ever come to seeing a living, breathing dinosaur, though we don't recommend getting too close. Cassowaries are ratites, and they evolved and dispersed about 65 million years ago, around the same time as the non-avian dinosaurs perished in the Cretaceous extinction event. This tropical forest dweller can grow up to 5.5 feet in height and weigh up to 135 pounds. It has extremely long legs and talons punctuated by 3-inch long razor-sharp nails. Cassowary attacks have been reported 221 times. 150 of them were against humans, with the birds chasing, charging, or kicking their victims. Peanut, on the other hand, seems to be out for a leisurely afternoon walk. Leopards are amazing hunters, and if you have a weak heart for dogs, I wouldn't watch this next clip. A leopard enters an apartment building where a dog is sleeping in front of the door. The leopard sneaks up on the dog and snatches it and drags it down the stairs in seconds. This sequence shows a leopard trapped inside a house and in a state of panic attacks the occupants. Meanwhile, forest service personnel have set up a net to catch it, as well as a tranquilizer gun in case it escapes. Knock knock, who's there? It's a giant lizard. What is this colossal wizard? It's a giant lizard attempting to gain access to your home. Although this may sound like a bad knock-knock joke, it's a frightening real-life scenario. Ask this Thai man who is well versed in the subject. He's the one who posted the video of the giant Godzilla-like lizard stuck on his front door. The lizard seemed to have knocked on his door and attempted to get in his home. The man was so amused that he began taking pics of the creature and posting them on his Facebook page. He also broadcasted a live video on his Facebook page to give viewers a sense of the scale of this unwanted visitor. When someone attempts to trap the lizard with a lasso, the video shows it tied to the door and wagging its tail every now and then. The lizard was later discovered to be a frequent visitor at their home, and the residents also gave her a name, Selena. The video is frightening, and it makes you wonder what you would do if you were confronted by a reptilian visitor. Raccoons are famous for breaking and entering, and this first clip shows a raccoon entering a house through the window where a young girl is eating her cereal. They are the raccoon's favorite, Fruit Loops, but the girls scream and panic when they see the raccoon. Now there are two raccoons, and they want their bowl of Fruit Loops, or at least I think these are Fruit Loops. The raccoons are not aggressive, but they are not leaving anytime soon, and they do not look intimidated one bit by the girls. I think it's the other way around. In this next video, the family that owns this home hired a new roofing company to fix a problem on the roof, and the company's inspector decided to check out the roof in the middle of the night. You can see him on the roof checking out the damaged parts, so much so that he makes a hole in the roof, so you can see what it looks like from the inside. Perhaps he will find a nice apple pie on the kitchen table while he finishes his estimates. We have all seen how crazy badgers can be. In this clip, this wild badger gets inside this house by going in through the cat flap. The badger goes straight for the fridge, opening without hesitation. It ignores the meat, the eggs, and the cheese and goes straight for the Bakewell tart. In this next clip, after mistakenly believing a fox was to blame, a woman saw a badger coming in through the cat flap on her front door. She had been waking up to the sounds of crashing and banging coming from her kitchen, and she discovered the room littered with half-eaten frozen snacks and wrappers. She told her friends, but they did not believe her, so she set up a camera and caught the badger sneaking into the fridge, clawing it open and devouring frozen treats. The badger has a soft spot for ice lollies, as shown by one clip in which he opens and devours dozens of bubblegum-flavored ice creams. Twister ice lollies, mashed potatoes, crumpets, and Chinese-style pork chops have also been consumed, but scallops have been avoided. I guess badgers do not like meat. So, you hear a knock at your door, and when you get to the door, you do not see anyone. You look down for a moment and you see an alligator smiling at you. What do? Well, that's what this Palm Coast woman had to deal with at her front door. The alligator finally turns around and leaves. This next clip shows an alligator in the backyard of a house. This man is trying to scare it away with a stick, but I would not mess around if I were him. I would call animal patrol, like right away. That's what they do, but the alligator does not seem like it will cooperate. They finally get a hold of it and drag it onto the street and into a vehicle. Alligators seem to be walking all over these neighborhoods looking for friends. Alligators can visit at all hours of the day, and this security footage proves it, when this alligator decides to attack this couple in their swimming pool. The alligator is not kidding around. It jumps into the pool and then lunges at the woman still in the pool. She finally gets out of the pool and no one is hurt, but I'm sure they got the scare of their lives. Some of these invasions were scary as hell, but the alligator jumping in the pool is the one that got me the most. What about you? Which one freaked you out the most? Why don't you let us know in the comments below?